Welcome to HornAfrica Insight, your source for East Africa's top news. Today's episode is dedicated entirely to Ethiopia's historic inauguration of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, the GERD. From the celebrations in Guba to Egypt's official complaint at the United Nations, and new electricity deals emerging with South Sudan and Kenya, this is the full story. Subscribe, hit the bell, and let's dive in. On September 9th, 2025, Ethiopia officially inaugurated the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam in Guba. This $5 billion project on the Blue Nile is now the largest hydroelectric facility in all of Africa, with a generating capacity of 1,150 megawatts. The dam is designed to light up Ethiopia's 120 million citizens, while also exporting surplus power to the region. During the ceremony, a fighter jet roared across the sky above the dam's 170-meter plunge, a show of national pride and sovereignty. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed addressed the crowd and foreign dignitaries, declaring, "Ethiopia built the dam to prosper, not to harm its brothers." His message was clear. GERD is about growth, not conflict. Yet Egypt remains deeply uneasy. Dependent on the Nile for 90% of its fresh water, Cairo fears restrictions during times of drought. Sudan, meanwhile, acknowledges potential benefits such as flood control, but also insists on binding agreements. For now, Ethiopia's cautious approach to filling the reservoir has prevented any immediate downstream disruptions. The GERD has already become both a symbol of sovereignty and a flashpoint in Nile politics. At the ceremony, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed used the moment to outline an even bigger national vision. He announced Ethiopia's intention to pursue peaceful nuclear energy. He revealed that a new gas factory would begin operations within weeks, alongside another massive natural gas factory will be built. He also spoke of a nationwide housing program that aims to provide 1.5 million new homes over the next decade. Abiy framed these projects as a direct continuation of the GERD's legacy: locally funded, nationally transformative, and regionally ambitious. But critics quickly pointed to the challenges ahead. Ethiopia faces strained finances, debt burdens, and internal conflicts. Egypt and Sudan worry that Addis Ababa's expanding ambitions could translate into more Nile projects upstream. Still, Abiy's message was unwavering. The Grand Renaissance Dam is only the beginning of Ethiopia's development journey. The inauguration was more than a national milestone. Leaders from across Africa and even the Caribbean gathered to honor its significance. South Sudan's President Salva Kiir praised the GERD as a symbol of determination and, in a notable announcement, hinted that his country will soon sign an electricity deal with Ethiopia, possibly within weeks. Kenya's President William Ruto also reaffirmed his interest in extending the existing power supply from Ethiopia to Kenya and expressed that if additional energy is available, Nairobi is still eager to pursue new agreements. Somalia's President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud emphasized the importance of shared resources and cooperation, insisting that prosperity should not be the burden of one nation alone. Djibouti's President Ismail Omar Guelleh called GERD a great victory for African self-reliance. And from the Caribbean, Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley described the dam as the Adwa of engineering, funded by the people. Their collective message was unmistakable. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is not only Ethiopia's dam, it is Africa's statement of sovereignty, resilience, and progress. But even as Ethiopia celebrated, Egypt pushed back. On the very same day of the inauguration, Egyptian Foreign Minister Badr Abdelati sent a formal letter to the United Nations Security Council. In it, he argued that the Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is a unilateral project that violates international law. Egypt, dependent on the Nile for almost all of its water, continues to fear shortages during droughts. Sudan, while seeing some benefit in regulated flows, remains aligned with Cairo in demanding a binding legal framework for the dam's operations. The timing of Egypt's letter, delivered on the very day Ethiopia celebrated in Guba, was read by many as a deliberate attempt to undercut the event. For Addis Ababa, the message was clear. Egypt is not ready to recognize the Renaissance Dam as a legitimate and sovereign achievement. With diplomacy stalled and tensions rising, the risk of deeper regional divisions continues to grow, especially as Egypt strengthens ties with Ethiopia's historic rival, Eritrea. Looking beyond politics, Ethiopia is now focused on transforming GERD's capacity into regional energy influence with 5,150 megawatts at its disposal. Addis Ababa has already set plans in motion to sell electricity to Sudan and Djibouti. South Sudan, as President Kiir indicated, is preparing to sign a deal in the coming weeks. Kenya, too, has renewed its push to extend Ethiopia's supply across its grid and is open to negotiating fresh agreements if more surplus becomes available. The GERD could soon become the anchor of an East African power grid. Yet challenges remain. As of 2022, only 55% of Ethiopians had access to electricity, according to the World Bank. Expanding domestic grids is just as urgent as selling power abroad. But for Egypt, every new deal, every new export stirs the fear that more upstream dams could follow. From the grand inauguration in Guba to Abiy Ahmed's ambitious new projects, from Africa and the Caribbean celebration to Egypt's sharp protest at the United Nations, Ethiopia's bold vision for the Nile is now reshaping the future of East Africa. Will the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam emerge as a beacon of unity and prosperity? Or will it deepen the divides between Nile Basin states? Only time will tell. Thank you for watching HornAfrica Insight. Share your thoughts in the comments, subscribe for more, and don't miss our shorts that cover each of today's stories in bite-sized updates. HornAfrica Insight, where Ethiopia's story shines.